Original Wing Chun. This is the authorized version of the Kung Fu art known as Wing Chun, which was taught by the late Grandmaster Yip Man to his son, Yip Chun. Although dying of an incurable illness, Grandmaster Yip Man, 1 week before his death in 1972, committed 2 forms and the wooden dummy form to film. This has been reproduced from a 9mm film in black and white and is now the only living record of the original style as taught by the great Grandmaster. Siu Nim Tao and Chum Kiu, both forms are now going to be demonstrated. Please understand that the quality may not be of the usual transmission standards, but it is the only copy available in existence. His level of Kung Fu is still apparent as he retains his skills even unto his grave. As the films are of such short length, we have repeated them to give the viewer a better opportunity to view this legend of the martial arts. The frame synchronization has been altered slightly, and the presence of this great man is still visible. The control and energy he displays, which has given inspiration to many famous teachers, not the least of those was his student Bruce Lee, who studied with this legend. It's traditional that secrets be found in Chinese Kung Fu. A person may practice Siu Nim Tao, for example, for many years, yet without correct instruction may receive little benefit of this exercise. Later in this instructional tape, his son, Grandmaster Yip Chun, will demonstrate the techniques at actual speed. Controversy surrounding Wing Chun, modified and traditional, is now mute. These are the forms as taught by Yip Man himself. Any variations to these forms is purely of the design of the individual. Wing Chun forms are not practiced for demonstration, they are designed as training exercises. These forms will now be repeated. Original Wing Chun by Grandmaster Yip Chun, including the legacy left by his late father. The following videotape is a complete instruction in the basic three forms and chi sao practice of this unique Chinese boxing system. Master Yip Chun produced this book on the wooden dummy techniques to help students many years ago. He still travels the world teaching and educating and inviting students to visit him at his home in Hong Kong. His #1 European student, Samuel Kwok, wrote this book, The Path to Wing Chun, and is fully endorsed by the Grandmaster. Now 62 years of age, Grandmaster Yip Chun wishes to promote this unique style of Chinese Kung Fu to the world, and with the aid of this videotape, is hoping to reach all corners of the earth. He will now perform Siu Nim Tao, the little idea form. First thing a student learns in the practice of Wing Chun is the principle of centerline theory. All techniques operate through the center, and practice is firstly to line up the center. This form, known as Siu Nim Tao, may be broken down into three parts. The first part is the building up of energy, the concentration of energy in the fingertips, the thumb, the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder, all with the correct corresponding tension. Having no frills, Wing Chun is very precise and deals with the practicalities of self-defense. The correct application of energy is directly relative to the ability the technique performs. This form remains the basis of Wing Chun system and is practiced throughout life. This form directly relates to the single hand sticking techniques, which are shown clearly later on in this video. The second part of the form is the use of energy, focusing the energy into the last 6 inches of each technique to focus the technique. Teaching the use of the arms independently. Siu Nim Tao. Here shown from the side so the student may notice the correct alignment of the body and the positioning of the hands during the practice. Notice the height of the hands and fingers in relationship to the body. This exercise may be practiced even more slowly than this, but it should not be practiced any faster. The correct use of energy at the elbow point is most difficult for the beginning student, but it is necessary to achieve any advancement. Further close-up from the front to allow the finer points of this technique to be understood by the student. Notice the absolute focus of attention by the Grandmaster as he executes these techniques which date back to over 300 years. During Hun Sao practice, movement should be done slowly for wrist and forearm strengthening. With Wu Sao, the fingers should be vertical and drawn back using the elbow energy. Breathing at all times should be relaxed and natural and using the stomach. During all the techniques of Tan Sao, Hun Sao, Wu Sao, Fuk Sao, Hun Sao, Wu Sao, the other hand should be held back horizontally to the body, with the fist pulled against the side of the chest. It's most important that the first part of the Wing Chun system in this form should be studied completely. Otherwise, you will not develop the proper energy to be effective with the techniques. All the techniques practiced in Siu Nim Tao are from a front-facing position. And allow the student to centerline focus the techniques. From childhood, Grandmaster Yip Chun watched his father daily practicing these techniques. Now the second part of the form, close-up from the front, showing the use of energy, relax to tense, relax to tense, and learning how to use the focus of the energy. Here from behind you can see the energy being illustrated. Here from the side, further demonstrating Grandmaster's control and precision of technique. Throughout life, the practitioner practices and trains and hones these techniques. They're never neglected, which makes this such a total art. Chum Kiu is known as building the bridge, second form of the Wing Chun system. Same centerline opening. Turning and practicing techniques which engage an enemy. Notice the turn to the side on the Bong Sao technique and the return to the center. The lifting kick. Front kick. No matter how vigorous the practice, Grandmaster Yip Chun does not lose his composure nor get out of breath, showing the high degree of skill he has attained. Biu Jee, flying fingers form, often known as the desperation form and taught only to indoor students. It is said in Chinese Kung Fu that skill first rests in the hairs, then in the skin, then the muscle, and finally resides in the bone. Along with the butterfly knife training, this technique again was shown only to a few students. Like Chum Kiu, the second form, Biu Jee, employs training techniques that would be employed in a serious confrontation, along with the leg techniques. The development of the attacking techniques, moving on to fingers and elbows. Special energy developed in the initial part is for the fingertips and hands. section developing elbow and leg stepping, circle stepping, helps to control your opponent's leg. Notice how in Biu Jee, the hand comes from the ear, the elbow high, then down. Grandmaster Yip would like to make it clear to all students that the elbow itself is a well-conditioned instrument and practicing in the air is sufficient exercise. Such a technique against a resilient surface such as a beanbag can prove injurious to the central nervous system, which affects the back of the neck. The precise angling in Biu Jee makes it unique for application into the Chi Sao practice. Here showing the circling steps in detail. Although apparently quite simple steps, they can be employed with great effect against an opponent. Focus of energy is apparent throughout all the techniques executed. Turning action and the high and low movements add extra impetus to the techniques. Of small stature, Grandmaster Yip Chun employs all these techniques with great vigor and truly has inherited the legacy of his father. One of the greatest benefits of practicing this form is the use of the seeking hand and the elbow technique. Tsun Sil, double blocking action. Each technique smoothly linked to the last one. Here shown with Master Samuel Kwok and his student Trevor Jefferson, Master Yip Chun demonstrates some applications from the techniques previously. Employing the leg and the outside gate entry. Blocking, attacking, and showing the correct entry for the techniques. The practicality of the techniques is quite obvious. They engage at touching distance. Simultaneous block and strike. Precise, accurate, powerful. Wing Chun flows from one technique to the next. Combinations are immeasurable. Here employing the elbow as the final technique. Here Master Yip Chun is showing how non-resistance can best operate. Disengaging from the technique and simultaneously striking. Chi Sao, sticking hand practice. Here rolling hands, Master Yip Chun and Samuel Kwok. This is the peculiar exercise to Wing Chun, and employs entry from all four gates. The ability to stick and engage your opponent's techniques and hands. Though small in stature and late in age, Master Yip Chun can still teach at this level to the finest degree. Demonstrating that this unique form of Kung Fu relies not on power, but on technique and the correct application of energy. For many countless hours he practiced with his father, and since then with his students over the years. Those closest to him becoming as close as his own family. Using the Biu Jee techniques to defend. Often referred to as a form of physical chess, the students practice for many hours to develop and feed in the techniques they have studied. The master engages in his practice readily with all his students. His use and ability to read energy is unique. Which makes this a unique style for those of small stature. Controlling the center line, trying to find an open gate, is all part of the practice, which is enjoyed by all. Notice the absolute economy of motion that the master employs. Students 30, 40 years younger, in their prime, still cannot match the skill that this man enjoys. A true Wing Chun master is not afraid to be attacked during Chi Sao practice. A good master will demonstrate with only a touch where the weak point has appeared. If he punches hard, then he is not a good master. If he does not give you a chance and you cannot hit him, this is because he is a master. Throughout the world, many people profess to teach Wing Chun, yet their skill is limited. True masters such as Grandmaster Yip Chun can guide students through to the highest level. Master Yip Chun believes that the benefits of Wing Chun should be shared, and to the level attained by his students worldwide has proved that this art can be transmitted. In releasing this treasure house of techniques to the world, he shares with us the legacy left by his father. Legends are many about the history of Wing Chun. Master Yip Chun feels that Wing Chun is a living art. Age not being a prerequisite to study, a student can practice late into their life. An enjoyable session. Here we will see some single hand sticking techniques performed by Master Samuel Kwok and his student Trevor Jefferson under the tutelage of Grandmaster Yip Chun. Here is correcting the stance. This exercise is practiced on both sides. Notice the techniques are practiced fluidly, yet at the same time, where the focus is required, it is used. Lap Sao, the use of the grab and punch and the defense of the Bong Sao. Notice the Bong Sao elbow is raised higher than the shoulder and the technique is varied from side to side. Lap Sao helps to bridge the distance between the practitioners. One of the many drills to hone these techniques. The correct application of energy is here being shown by the Grandmaster. Response, reaction, response, reaction. These are the skills that are honed with this practice. Correct positioning and distancing of the backhand is very important. Techniques such as these make Wing Chun devastating with its infighting techniques. Here, Grandmaster Yip Chun demonstrating the rolling hands exercise and the change and the responses. Notice how the practice develops a firmness which is not tense, and a softness which is not weak. It is Grandmaster Yip Chun's wish that Wing Chun should become popular throughout the world, and is prepared to travel and teach and help all serious students of this unique art. Grandmaster Yip Chun authorizes this version of the Wing Chun system on behalf of the Yip Man Martial Arts Association.